Hi everyone, my name is Mehmood Sheikh and from past few videos I have been working on developing an online budget system using PHP and MySQL database. In my last video I gave you the complete overview about this application, and in this video I will be discuss about designing this navigation menu and designing the registration form like this, and we will also discuss about developing the functionality of allowing the admin, then department head and a normal employee to register on this application. Okay, so before starting discussing these features, I would just want to tell you guys that if you guys like this video, click on like button, share it with your friends, and if you have not subscribed this channel, then subscribe it. Okay, so now let us start our discussion on designing this navigation bar and this registration dialog box. Okay, so now this is our application, okay, budget system. Now we need to link our CSS and JS files to our system. Okay, as you can see here, I have an asset folder, and in that folder I have a CSS which contains files like bootstrap.css and styles CSS file, and then I'm using font awesome as well. Okay, and then I have a JS folder where I have a bootstrap.js and jQuery 1.12.4 JS file. So these files you can easily download from the net, okay, or else I will write or I will give you the link of these files in the description from where you can easily download these files. Okay, so now let us first link our CSS files to our application. Okay, so now I'm in my register file and I have linked the meta tags, and now I will link my font awesome file. So in font awesome folder you have a CSS folder, and in that you have all.css file. Okay, this file you need to link first. Okay, and next we need to link the style.css file as well. Okay, and next I will link my bootstrap.css file. Okay, so these are the three CSS files that you need to first link with your system. Next I will be linking the JS files, jQuery 1.12.4 and bootstrap.js files. Okay, so these two JavaScript files we need to design the system. So now I have linked all the CSS and JS files with my system. Now I need to design a navigation menu. So for designing a navigation menu like this, okay, so I have already written code which I can get from the getbootstrap.com. okay, so here you can see I have a code for designing a navigation bar. Okay, so I will just copy this code. Okay, now save it, and now when I refresh, you can see a navigation menu start displaying. Okay, so but we don't want these things. Okay, we want only this drop down and this band. I want this UL, but I want only one link. I will delete this, and this link I will make it as logout, and this one is admin. I don't want this link. Then I don't want this button which you can see here. Okay, so I don't want the search text box and button, both I don't want, so I will just remove this, and yes, and I don't want this UL as well. I will delete this UL. Okay, and then I have a set of spans. Okay, so now you can see so I will keep this button and this spans as it is, because when I resize this browser window, I want to display the menu button like this. Okay, where there will be an admin option, and when I click on that admin option I will get the logout option. Okay, so now I will resize it. Next, okay, so now we have completed designing our navigation menu, and I will change it to, save it. Okay, now next we need to design a footer. Okay, so I will come at the end and here I will create one more div with a class of back G. Okay, and I will create a P. I will use a P element, and I will give it a name as again. Save it. Okay, I will refresh. Okay, now you can see a footer is also started displaying. Okay, so now what I will do is I have created two files inside my inc folder. Okay, as you can see here, there is a header and footer file. So I will open both of these files, and I will put the entire HTML code which is related to header. I will cut this and I will put header file. Whatever code I have which is related to footer, I will cut it and I will put it inside the footer. Save it. Okay, so now I will include this header and footer file inside the register file. Since I have included both header and footer in my register file, so you will notice no changes in the browser window. Now we have completed designing our header and footer of our system. Okay, so now you can see it's displaying admin and logout option. Okay, since we have not developed the functionality of admin and then department head, all those things, still it's showing here. Okay, we will hide this drop down. Okay, and we will only display this drop down whenever an admin logs in. So now we'll move on to design the registration box like this. Okay, now let us go to our editor. Okay, so here I have opened register PHP file, and I have created a div with a class of container, and this container is a class which belongs to Bootstrap framework. Okay, and inside this container I will create two divs. One div, first div with a class of row, and then inside this div I will create a panel. Okay, with a class of panel default. Okay, so all these classes are from Bootstrap framework. Okay, then I have created one more div inside this panel with a class of panel heading to display the heading of the panel as user registration. And then immediately after that I have created one more div with a class of panel body to write the HTML code to create text box and labels. Okay, so now let me just save it and refresh. This is here, you can see the panel is displaying, and now inside this panel body I have created a form with attributes like method and action. Okay, method attribute I have set to post because I will be sending a post request, and action attribute I have set to the same file, which is register PHP file. And here inside the form I have created a div with a class of form group, and inside that div I have created a label and an input text box. Okay, now let's refresh the page. Okay, so like this I will create one more div to display the text box for email, and third div to display the text box for password. Similarly I will create one more div to allow the user to enter the confirm password. Okay, let's save it and refresh. As you can see, we have 4 text boxes. Okay, next I want a drop down which is a select. Okay, for that I have created one more div with a class of form group and label as user roles. So in this select box I will display various roles like admin, department head, and normal employee. Next I will create a button of type submit. Okay, then at the end I will create a p tag to display a message as already have an account. So now save it, and now I will refresh the page. Now we will write the PHP code to make a post request to our MySQL database. Okay, so I will be making a post request to the same file, which is register.php, to allow the user to register their details inside MySQL database. To make a post request to our register file, first we need to include our database configuration file in our register file. Okay, so as you guys know that I had created a configuration file which I had kept under config folder, and this is my configuration file which contains all the configuration details regarding our database. Okay, first I need to include this file, so let me just include it. Okay, so since my db php file present under config folder, so I need to write this config folder name as well. Okay, and next I need to check if the post request is successfully been made on this register file. Then I need to take the username details from the text box. Okay, so to access the username data, I need to write this code. Similarly, I need to access email information, and I also need to access the password and confirm password information as well. Okay, and finally I need to access the user role id information as well. Okay, as you can see here, the password and confirm password information is been encrypted in SHA1 format. Then user role id also you need to access. Okay, now here I have written a select query. With this select query, I am selecting the details of the user from the table who is trying to register. So here I am checking whether the person who is trying to register is already registered or not. If the user is already registered, then I will get the details of that user to display a message like this user is already exist. Okay, so to display that message of user is already exist in the table, first I need to select the record from MySQL table. So to select that record, I need to pass the entered email and password. Okay, once I write this select query by passing the email and password, then it will return me some data. Okay, if the user who is trying to register is already present inside the MySQL table, then it will return me a value greater than 0. Okay, if I get the value greater than 0, that is 1, that means user is already registered. Then in that case I will show a message to the user saying that user already exists. Okay, and that message I will store inside this message array. Okay, if the user is not registered earlierly, then I need to check if the password and the confirm password are same or not. Okay, if both are same, then I will be allowing the user to register. If both are not same, then I have to give them a message as confirm password not matched, and that message also I will store inside the message array. Okay, if password and confirm password are matched, then I will write an insert query, and with that insert query I will insert the details like user role id, username, email and password. Okay, so these are the variables inside which I have stored the data of the registered user. Okay, so I just need to pass these variables inside this insert query. Okay, then I need to give a message to the user saying they registered successfully, and if the user successfully gets registered to our database, then I need to take the user directly to the login page so that user can log in. Okay, so now you need to create a login PHP file as well. So here I have already created that file, and I have given a message as login just to know that we have redirected to login page. Okay, next here in this code we are giving some messages. We have to print these messages, right? So at the end, okay, so here we need to check if the message array contains some data, then I will be iterating over that message and I will print that message. Okay, so I will use for loop to iterate over the message array, and I will display the messages stored inside the message array. Okay, so this will help me to display the messages. Okay, so I will take this and I will put this below the header. Okay, so now let's refresh the page. Okay, and I will fill in the details of this form, and now when I click on register, so now you can see it has taken me directly to login page. That means our code is working properly, and I'm sure the user has successfully gets registered inside this table. Okay, now you can see one record gets inserted. Okay, so this is how we can develop the functionality of allowing the user to register on MySQL table. Okay, so this is what I wanted to discuss in this video. I hope you guys have understood how to develop such kind of functionalities. Okay, so if you guys like this video, click on like button, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. I will see you guys in my next video, where I will be discussing about developing the login functionality. Okay, so thanks for watching.